Hello my dear students of class 10. Today I shall discuss chapter 6. Chapter 6, Introduction to JavaScript. Now what is JavaScript? JavaScript is a scripting language which is developed by Brandon H. It was developed for Netscape, and basically the JavaScript codes are used with the HTML pages, and we can run a JavaScript program in any type of web browser like Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Opera. So we can run in almost all web browsers. We can run a JavaScript program. And basically the difference in JavaScript, we will be finding some programming structure as we have find in say like C. So there is basically some, we will use the tag and we can use some programming structure. And basically a JavaScript code is written within a tag. It is placed within script, S-C-R-I-P-T, script, and then we of script. So basically the JavaScript codes are written within this. Not only that, we can also write like this, say code, or it is like this. And this script, it tells the browser to interpret all the text between the tag. Basically this script tells the browser to interpret. Interpret means to convert, if any conversion, to compile or convert anything between this script. And the script tag has two main attributes. One is the language, another is the type. Now basically the language, it defines what type of language it is. The language attribute specifies the scripting language. Basically here we are using JavaScript, and the type is the attribute which is used to specify the scripting language. Basically we will be writing either text oblique JavaScript, and basically we write as, for example, I have discussed earlier in XML. In HTML we write these codes in Notepad. Here also JavaScript tags or codes are written in Notepad, and it is saved with extension .html. Basically the JavaScript is basically used with the HTML text. So the extension, the file extension of JavaScript is .html. I am just showing an example of JavaScript. We will start with this one, doc type HTML. So this will be the first line. Then we will write HTML. Then we will be writing body. Then here we will write script, language and type. So script language, is equal to JavaScript, and type is equal to text oblique JavaScript. Doc type, sinus doc type HTML, then it's again only HTML. Body, because body means here will be the codes which will interpret in the browser, so we'll write inside the body. Then script language is equal to JavaScript, text type is equal to text oblique JavaScript. So basically this type of code we write in Notepad and we save it in dot with extension .html. Now first I am showing you what is the alert statement. So basically I am taking class. Then let me close the first, we'll see script, then of script, then body, then HTML. Now what is alert statement? The alert statement is used to display information to the user. Anything we write inside the alert statement, same thing is displayed on the screen. You can see in book page number 112, we will see a message like figure number 6.3. In the message was written hello good morning. So anything which is written with alert statement, same thing is printed as output. Here I have written I am taking class. So when we execute this code, so what will happen? We will find in a message box this line will come, I am taking class. In your book you may find like this, hello good morning. So alert statement is used to display information to the user. Then we have comments, like in my earlier class I have discussed about the comments in XML. Now what are the comments in JavaScript? So basically in JavaScript there are two type of comments. One is single line comment, another is multi-line comment. This type of comments, the comments written in JavaScript is same as in case of C. As we have read about C in class 9, we have found there are two type of comment. One is single line comment, another is multi-line comment. The single line comment is basically written with like this. Suppose say this is the first line. So single line, if you want to write a single line comment, so we write with slash. If you want to write a multi-line comment, we write like this. This is a test of comment, then we'll keep asterisk and slash. Just see the difference. This is single line comment, I have written only one line, and this here it is more than one line, means two line. You can add two lines, any line. So this is multi-line comment. We open with slash, asterisk, then we close off with asterisk, then slash. So the comment, now as I have already discussed about comment in XML also, that comment is not executed. Comment is not executed in a coding. If you give a comment, as you have seen in C in XML, a comment is not executed, neither it is interpreted. When a parser or compiler finds the comment, it just understands that this comment is basically used to define something. It has no relation with the execution. Now what is variable? What is variable? Now a variable is a named storage location, named storage area whose value is stored and can be retrieved when required. I am just telling an example. When we represent, for example, if I give a mathematical problem, in mathematics you find that some problem is there. So when we are like say there were this number of things. John has taken this number, then Smith has taken this number. So in this type of methods, we do what? We represent anything with like X, Y, A, B. Like this, in computer, for presenting a element or a number, we basically use a variable which have basically a variable is a storage area. It is basically a name storage area. Now there are some rules for naming variables. This is very important. So how can you have a variable name? A variable name must begin with a letter. Name of a variable must begin with a letter or underscore character. We cannot have a number. Number means say for example, I will show you an example. So a variable name should always start with a letter or underscore, and which can be followed by, then it should not start with a number digit. The first character is followed by, after the first character you can have letter, digit or any symbols. It should not be a reserved word. Now there are already inbuilt keywords which also known as reserved word. There are already some reserved word is there in JavaScript. So all this reserved word has some inbuilt function. So we cannot have a variable name as we cannot have a reserved word name as variable name. Number 4, we cannot have spaces in a variable name. We cannot have spaces in a variable name. And lastly, the JavaScript is a case sensitive. Thus, if you define variable name with say with one name, so it should follow the same case. Means small letter, if we have it a small letter, so it is small letter. If we write in capital letter, it should be capital letter. So it is case sensitive. JavaScript is a case sensitive. So just I am showing you some example. Say for example, if I write a variable name as say student, say student is a variable name. So it is valid because the first one is letter and it contains letter. It can contain letter, digits or underscore sign. So valid. Student 1, it is also valid. If you have like this, one student, it is invalid because a variable name cannot start with a digit. Now say suppose my variable name is first number. So it is also not a valid because a blank space is there. We cannot have a blank space, but you can have a underscore sign here. If you give a underscore sign here, it is valid. And now there are already some reserved word. We will see in page number 113 means 113. We will find there are some already reserved words, some keywords are there JavaScript. As I give an example, say for example byte. We cannot have say byte or break as variable name because these are reserved word. This has inbuilt meaning or function in JavaScript. So we cannot have a reserved word as variable name. Then now what is reserved word? Reserved word are those words that have a specific meaning in the scripting language. So they already have some specified meaning or function in the scripting language. So they are reserved word. It is there in table number 6.2, page number 113. Reserved word are there. Now what is data types? Basically JavaScript has 3 types of data types. They are numbers, strings and boolean. Numbers are basically 1, 2, 3, 4, any digit number, means digit. You can have 4 digit, 5 digit, any digit number, 1 digit, 2 digit number. So these are number. Strings are basically enclosed within double inverted commas. Strings are basically enclosed within double inverted commas, and we can have the boolean. The boolean can have two values, either true or false. Now how can we declare a variable? So basically we can declare a variable like this: var, suppose say my variable name is first number, so we will write var first, say first, we can have first, anyway BER. Here I have not given any space. See, here it is varied because I have not given any blank space. So this first number is a variable name, and this is how we declare a variable. So we declare a variable with the word var, means variable. So this is a variable, and we can also declare, suppose I want to declare two variables. So how can I declare? Suppose one variable name is n1, another variable name is n2. So var n1, var n2. Now instead of writing two times, we can also write in same line like this. This is how we can declare more than one variable, 2, 3, any number. So this is how we can declare more than one variable together, var n1 comma n2. So here n1 and n2 are two different variables, and they are declared together. In your book you will find example like var marks comma total comma average. Now what do you mean by assignment statement? Now what is the meaning of assignment? Assignment means I am assigning you something. In case of computer, basically the equal to sign. Equal to sign is known as assignment operator, and anything with equal to sign is known as assignment statement. Say for example, I have declared a variable like this, var roll number. So here roll number is a variable, var roll number is equal to 13. So this is known as assignment statement because equal to sign is there. So this is means I am assigning a value 13 to the variable roll number. I am repeating, we are assigning a value 13 to the variable roll number. So this is an assignment statement. So assignment statement is basically used for assigning a value to the variable. Now next I come to another statement. Let me erase so that now another statement is there, document dot write statement. Already we have found one statement, which one? Alert statement. Alert statement is used to display information to the user. Same, the document dot write statement is also used to write text on the web page. The document dot write statement is used to write text on the web page, and the general format of document dot write is document dot write. Within it we will write our text or statement. Within this we can write our text. And sometimes inside the document or write statement we use BR. The BR, this tag is used for breaking the line so that it should come below. Now what is semicolon in JavaScript? Basically a simple statement in JavaScript are generally followed by a semicolon. for a simple statement, basically they are followed in a JavaScript followed by a semicolon. But we can omit semicolon if the statement are placed in separate line. And what are the operators in JavaScript? So basically there are many types of operators in JavaScript. Now I am starting with arithmetic operator. What is arithmetic operator? An arithmetic operator, basically the arithmetic operator are used for arithmetical calculation like plus, minus, divide, asterisk is multiplication, and this is remainder. This is not division, this is remainder, modulus. This is also known as modulus, or it is used for remainder. So basically there are 5 types of arithmetic operators in JavaScript. Plus is used for adding something, minus for difference, division, multiplication, and what is modulus? Basically the modulus finds out the remainder of a thing. For example, say if A is equal to say a value 8, B is equal to say 5. Now what is the result of A plus B? The result of A plus B will be 13. What will be the result of A minus B? It will be 3. What will be the result of A divided by B? It will be 1. And what is the result of A asterisk means multiplication B? It will be 40. And the result of A modulus B, it will be 3. It is how when we divide 8 by 5. Now 5 ones are 5, remainder is what? 3. So this modulus operator is used to find out the remainder. So basically there are 5 types of arithmetic operator in JavaScript. Then arithmetic operator precedence. So basically you may have heard of the formula BODMAS, the bracket of division. So this formula is also used, this procedure is also used in JavaScript when we have the arithmetic operator precedence. So it's actually the parenthesis, the bracket has the highest priority. Then we have multiplication, division, modulus, and third preference is addition and subtraction. Now what is increment and decrement operator? Increment and decrement operator in JavaScript. Increment means increase and decrement means decrease. Increment. So increment is basically, this is increment operator plus plus, and decrement operator is minus minus. I am just showing an example. Say A is equal to 5. A is equal to 5. Now what will be the value of A plus plus? The meaning of A plus plus is A is equal to A plus 1. So here it will be 5 plus 1, 6. See how? A plus plus means increment. Now the A plus plus is means A is equal to A plus 1. So the value of A is 5. So 5 plus 1, 6. Similarly, what does the mean? Say the value of B is 6. Now what is the value of B minus minus? Decrement. Decrement. See, B minus minus means B is equal to B minus 1. So it will be 6 minus 1, 5. So increment increases, decrement decreases. And so increment operator, it increases the value stored in the variable, and decrease operator basically decreases the value stored in the variable. And these all are variable. Here A is variable, B is variable, all these are variables because we are representing something with some values, variable. Now what is comparison operators? So basically there are 6 type of comparison operators are there. There are 6 types of comparison operators. They are less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to, and we have double equal to. This, I think this you are familiar with this operator. This operator is also known as less than, this is greater than, this is. Now in mathematics, when we write, suppose say A is greater than equal to B. So we represent this line A greater than equal to B like this, A greater than equal to B in case of, basically in case of any programming, in coding, in computer, for this A greater than equal to B we write like this, A greater than equal to B, and like this less than equal to. Now what is not equal to? For example, A not equal to 5. So we write like this, A not, this means not equal to 5. So this line is represented like this, A not equal to 5 means A not equal to 5. So this one double equal to, see, for understand double equal to, you have to understand one thing. When I write A is equal to 5, now here equal to is there, and we know that equal to is an assignment operator. This means what? We have assigned a value 5 to the variable A. Now if I write A double equal to 5, it means what? Actually double equal to is a comparison operator. See, the result of all this, say I have written A not equal to 5. Now the result of this will either be true or it will be false. So comparison operator, such operators whose result comes either true or false. Now when I write A double equal to 5, it means that whether the value of A is equal to 5 or not. If it is equal to 5, then it is true. If it is not equal to 5, it is false. Now we have the logical operator. Basically there are 3 type of logical operators, not only in JavaScript, basically in all programming languages. They are and we have or and not, and or and not. And means what? Both conditions should be, if the both and is basically and the result of and is true, if both is true, the suppose say true and true, the answer will be true. Now if I write true and false, the answer will be false. False and true, it will be false. False and false, it will be false. So basically when both are true, the result will be true, and rest in all cases it will be false. In case of or this one, true or false, it will be true. True or true, true. False or true, true. False or false, false. So here, if one condition is true, so the result will be true. And not means inverse, reverse. So not is basically, if I write like this, not A, suppose the value of A is equal to 5 and the value of B is equal to 3. So if I write not A greater than B, so see whether A is greater than B or not. Yes, because A is 5, B is 3, so definitely the value of A is greater than B, so it is true, but here not is there. So not true means false. Do you understand? See, value of A is 5, B is 3. Now, whether A is greater than B, whether it is true or false, it is true because A is greater than B. But before that, you have written what? Not. So, not true means false. Then we have compound assignment statement. The compound assignment statement are statement, they are like this. Say, plus equal to minus equal to, say I have written like this, A plus equal to B. This means what? A is equal to A plus B. Suppose I have written here A minus equal to C. This means what? A is equal to A minus C. So these are the, see, A plus equal to B means A is equal to A plus B, A minus equal to C means A is equal to A minus C. So compound assignment statement you will find in your book in table 6.7. There are some examples of compound assignment statements. Then we have conditional operators. So what is conditional operators? So basically a conditional operator is like this. I am just showing you an example. Var x is equal to say 5. Var x is equal to 5. Now let me write the condition. Var x is equal to greater than 5, then greater than 5 and is to less than 5. Now conditional statement do what? It checks a condition. It checks a condition. If the condition is true, then the statement after question mark, then the statement after question mark is executed. If this condition is false, then the statement after colon, then the statement after colon is executed. You can see here question mark is there, question mark and colon. If the condition is true, the statement after question mark it is executed. Now if the condition is false, the statement after colon is executed. Now prompt dialog box. Basically a prompt dialog box is used for if you want the input from the user. Suppose there are cases, because JavaScript is a scripted language, sometimes we may require some input from the user. A program may require a input from the user. In such case, we use a prompt dialog box. So basically a prompt dialog box is syntax is like this. X is equal to prompt enter a number. So what will happen? Whenever we will execute this is a JavaScript code. Whenever we execute this code, when it find this line, so it will create a box. It will create a prompt box, and it will, this message will come, enter a number, and there we can just put a number. The example is there. You can see in page number 119, 119. Figure 6.13, figure 6.14 and 6.15. The code is written in figure 6.13. The prompt box has come in figure 6.14, and we have entered the number in the figure 6.15, and we are the output is displayed in figure 6.16. So prompt box is basically used for if we want the user should input the value. And now there are what are statements. So basically there are two types of statement there in JavaScript. One is simple statement, another is compound statement. Now the simple statement consists of single line of instruction, and it does not require brackets to enclose it, whereas a compound statement contains more than one line of instruction, and a compound statement should be, see, simple statement is not required to enclose within braces, but a compound statement must be enclosed within brackets. Now if statement, this is very important. If the if statement is used for checking a condition. Now we want to have a program which checks a condition, and based on the condition it should display output. So we can use the if statement. I'm just showing you another version of if statement, and that is if else. If else, and if else statement is used when we have more than one alternative way. So I am showing an example. Say doc type HTML, then HTML, then body script language is equal to JavaScript, and type is equal to text oblique JavaScript, and var x. Here I have declared a variable x. Then I am writing what? X is equal to prompt, enter a number. If x modulus x divided by 2 double equal to 0, document dot write x is a x plus is an even number else document dot write x plus is an odd number. Then first I will close the script of script, then of body, and then HTML. See, just try to understand this particular JavaScript code. Here in any JavaScript code, first we write what? Sign of exclamation, doc type HTML, then we write HTML, then we write body, and script language is equal to within double inverted comma JavaScript, type is equal to within double inverted comma text oblique JavaScript. Now from here because I want to represent some numbers with a value, so here I have used what? Variable. So I have written what? Var x. I am thinking that x is a variable which will have a storage area in the computer. So var x. Now then I am writing what? X is equal to prompt, enter a number. As I have told you earlier that we use the prompt command whenever we want the user should give a means input value. Suppose sometimes you are finding in computer it is giving instruction, okay, give the input. So like this, So we are using this command that we want a value. Now say for example, when this message has come, enter a number, we have given what? We have entered the number say 12. 12. Now what is 12 here? X is equal to 12. Now you can see here, var x, then x is equal to prompt a number. For example, here I have given a value what? 12. So x is equal to 12. So here means what? The value of x is 12. Now come to this step. This is a very important one. If, what do you mean by this one modulus? This means what? Here, what is the value of my x? The value of x is 12. 12 modulus 2 double equal to 0 means what? Where if 12 is divided by 2, when 12 is divided by 2 and the remainder, this find the remainder is equal to 0. If we divide any number by 2, if we divide any number by 2 and if the remainder is 0, what is this? This is an even number. See, if any number divided by 2 and the remainder is equal to 0, here I have used see here double equal to, as I discussed earlier, that we are using double equal to in case when we want to when we want the result show there will be true or false. So it may be true, it may be false. Here it is what? True. I have given the value what? 12. So what will happen? If this condition is true, statement 1 is executed. If this condition is false, statement 2 is executed. So we are using if else. If else means what? If condition and the condition is true, statement 1 is executed. If the condition is false, statement 2 is executed. Here, when I have given the value entered number, suppose I have given 12. So 12 when we divide by 2, yes, the remainder is equal to 0. So it is true. So answer will be like this: 12. If the value of x is what? The value of x is 12. 12 is an even number. I am just testing with another example. Say, prompt enter a number. Suppose say I have given 17. Suppose when he has asked enter a number, I have given the number as 17. Now come here. 17 modulus 2 double equal to, when we divide 17 by 2, whether the remainder is equal to 0 or not, never. Whenever we divide by the 17 by 2, the remainder will be 1. So whether this condition is true or false, so this condition is false. So statement 2 is, so it will show like this: 17 is an odd number. Hope you understand this term. So next I am moving to another topic, if else if. The if else if is used when we have, here see, when we have more than one condition, 1, 2, either the number will be odd or number will be even, then we are using if else. And basically we use if else if when there are more than two alternative ways. So basically we use if else if. You can see an example in your book, page number 122, that one program is there to find the largest of 3 numbers. Here how many conditions there? We have to find the largest of 3 numbers. So more than 2 alternative ways. So we are using if else if. Now what is switch statement? The switch statement is basically used when we want to switch when we want to switch more than one alternative. So more than one alternative we can use, instead of using if else if or if else, we can use, see, there are some examples where you can use more than suppose I am just showing an example, I am telling an example. Suppose I want to make a JavaScript program which will require, say I want to find out the month of a year. So here how many alternatives? I have 12 alternatives. So in this case I can use 11 times if, 11 times else. So instead of using if else continuously, I can use switch statement. So switch statement is basically used in case when we have more alternative routes in if else, and basically a switch statement is used after every statement, switch statement, there is a break, so we can have like this: case constant 1 statement, break, case constant 2 statement, break 2, case constant 3 statement, break, like this. So it goes on, and the break basically means what? We will come out of a group of statement, and basically there are some limitations of switch statement. Number 1 limitation is that the case level, in case of switch statement, the case level, remember the case level cannot be a variable, and number 2 is that the case level cannot be a range. We cannot have a case level as a variable, or we cannot have a case level as a range. So these are the 2 limitations of switch statement. So you can also see an example is there in page number 124 using switch statement. You can see our switch number case 1. If the input is 1, it will show the output as Sunday, like this. If you enter 7, it will show Saturday. So one example is there, and so today up to this is your up to this here actually your chapter 6. Here finishes your chapter 6. So this is basically a practical based. So once the school reopens, you will be doing practically the JavaScript, so that you can understand more. And if there is any problem in my understanding, so you can just comment me, you can ask me question, and or you can just call me. That if you don't, you are free to call me if you don't understand anything. And if there is any problem persists, so you can write the problem in your copy, so that once the school reopens, or you can ask me whatever problems, I will try my level best to solve your problem. And today up to this, thank you.